Hi guys, so I'm going to be doing another tutorial today, and this is another Dia de los Muertos look, or Sugar Skull, or whatever you want to call it, Day of the Dead Skull. It's just one of these. This is another pink one. I don't know, I did my last one pink. I don't know what's going on with that. Pink's not even really my favorite color, but you can use whatever color you want, and this is how it looks. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and stay tuned. Okay, so this is what we're going to start with. Obviously this side of my face has nothing on it. I'm only going to do half my face, just for time's sake, so if you want your whole face, then you would obviously just do this on both sides of your face. Okay, so I'm going to start with pasting my eyebrow down. I'm going to use a glue stick, so however you like to do it, that's how you do it. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Looks like I have a really scary white eyebrow, I know. Alright, now for this one I'm going to do the flower that I'm going to do first, just because I'm not going to use face paint for that, because I don't have all the colors that I want for the flower, and it's really hard to blend face paint and eyeshadow together. It's easier just to use all face paint or all eyeshadow. So I'm just going to use all eyeshadow. That's why I'm going to do that first, so I don't get to face paint in the flower that I'm going to create. So I'm going to take a circle around my eye, and this is Mayron's super white pencil. So it looks like that. So I just did above my lid and just a little bit below my lower lash line. And then I'm going to break this up into 6. You can do it however many you want, but I find it easier just because you do this half over here and this half, so you're kind of splitting your eye in half right there. That way it's easier to make the petals more even. So I do this little weird sun looking thing right there, and then I'm just going to make the petal. And I'm going to do short fat ones like that. Okay, so it looks like that. And it doesn't have to be like super perfect, just because you're going to fill in the rest around it with white, so it just has to be the basic shape so that you don't get face paint in it. And then I'm going to fill it in with my NYX jumbo pencil, just fill in all the petals. So we have that sort of shape right there. It looks kind of round right here because that's where my eyebrow is colored in, but it's a petal. And then now that I have this on, I'm going to start with my eyeshadows. And for this one I'm going to use pink, red, pink, orange, and yellow. So because I'm lazy, I'm going to have a different color brush for all of those, because I don't want to wash my brush off every time. So I'm going to start with yellow, and I'm going to be using the Sugar Pill Burning Heart palette. And I'm going to be using the color Buttercup Cake, I think it's called, yeah. And it's a really bright yellow that it's not showing up on camera. Yeah, there it is. And I'm going to do this on the top of my petals, so just on the very tips. And I do a little bit more than I actually want, because the yellow is very easy to blend away because it is such a light color compared to the rest of the colors I'm going to put on. Okay, so that's what I have. Yellow tips on all my flowers. Whoa, almost dropped the cup of brushes. That wouldn't have been good. And then I'm going to use another brush, and I'm going to use the orange that's in this palette. That is called Flame Point. I'm going to put it right underneath the yellow. And I'm going to kind of brush it up to start blending it. Okay, so that's what it looks like. You can go back, and if it's not blended enough, just go back with your yellow and just play with it until it's blended as much as you like. I'm not really picky about the blending on this. And next I'm going to be using a pink, and this is La Femme Blush in Fuchsia, which is really pigmented. And just another eyeshadow brush. This is an $1 one. And then putting that underneath. Almost pretty much to the edge of your white. Because I'm going to add a little bit of red, but I don't want that much. I want more pink than red. And normally you would put, I usually go according to the rainbow order, so you should have put red by orange, but I didn't want that much red in this, I wanted more pink, so that's why I'm doing it next to the orange. Okay, so it looks like that so far. And the last color I'm going to use is red. And I'm just going to be using the red in this Sugar Pill palette, which is called Love Plus, and another eyeshadow brush. And you really could use the same brush if you weren't as lazy as me, so you don't have to have a million brushes. Kinda sucks when it comes to washing. That's when being lazy really bites you in the ass. And I'm just putting it along the edge. Not very much, less than all the other colors. Just, it makes the pink look a little bit darker. Okay, so that's what we have so far. If you could tell, the red is around. And now we're going to actually make it look like a flower and outline it. And this is MandyNiXX Licorice Black, and this is a flat number 2. This is just a paint brush from Michaels. And then, oh splendid, that has white on it. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it to the thin side and start outlining my flower. And I'm not going to go in with the petals yet, just because I want to make sure that they're all even. Okay, so after you outlined it, this is sort of what it looks like. And then you could just leave it at that for now. That's how I prefer to do it. And then I'm going to paint my face white. And I'm going to be using, if I could open it, MandyNiXX Cloud White. This is another Magic Cake, yeah. And just a flat paintbrush. This is a 3/4 inch. And I'm just going to paint that whole half of my face white. Okay, so that's how it looks after my face is painted. And if I was going somewhere, I would definitely like put another coat of white, just because I would like it to be opaque, but meh. And then now that I have that, I'm going to take my black with my same little brush again, and I'm going to really outline my flower now. So just make your line as perfect as possible and thicker. And to bring it all the way down, I'm just going to go from where the flower, the 2 petals meet, and then go directly in a straight line like that. That way no petal is really like overlapping the others. Even though your flower really it doesn't matter how your petals look, because flowers are definitely not perfect. Okay, so that's what our flower looks like now. And I kind of like the thicker line look. That's why I use this number 2 brush, but if you don't like it thick, then you can use a smaller brush or an eyeliner. Okay, so now I'm going to take my same black paint and a small brush. This is a round, and it says 5/0. It's this little tiny baby one. It's like an eyeliner brush. And I'm going to put black in it, but I'm going to add more water than I normally would, so it's not going to be quite as opaque as normal. You can even put it in your paint, get it all full of paint, and then dip it once in the water so that the paint kind of dilutes. And then I'm going to go from the tip of my flower and have tiny little strokes like that into the yellow. And then I have a clean brush, which is a number 1 round, and then I'm just going to kind of blend it in with this. So that it looks like that. And on camera, it looks a little bit more black than it does in person. You don't have to do this step if you don't want, or you can do less black, it's really up to you, but just do that to all your petals. Okay, so this is what it looks like after you've added the black to the edges. And you can tell I kind of left it a little bit liney, sort. I don't know if that's how I would, what's the word to use, but like I didn't blend it completely, so it's not like black blended into it. It's just kind of like there's lines, but they're soft and a little bit blended. I don't know why, that's just how I like it. Then I'm going to take my black and this naked spot in my eye, I'm going to cover it. Okay, so I'm going to take a flat brush again and a black. This is just a Ben Nye black, and it's just matte, and I'm going to put it along the red and the black, just to kind of smudge it. You don't have to make them perfectly blended or anything like that. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Yep. And if you want it to look not so dark, because it's kind of a dark flower, you know, usually flowers are like yellow and white or whatever, just use different colors. You can even outline it with a different color if you wanted to, but I just liked the black, I don't know. And then from where, I have this little brush, this is a Sonia Kashuk brush, just a little tiny brush, and I'm going to take that black shadow, and from where my black is on my eye, I'm just going to kind of like do a couple little lines and sort of blend them so they look like that. Okay, so that's basically how our flower looks, and we're pretty much done with that. And then now I'm going to do the nose, and you just take your black once again. And for this, I'm just gonna do a normal like spade looking nose. So that's how the shape is gonna look, and then you can just fill it in. Okay, so that's how the nose looks, and then I'm gonna do my lips, and I'm going to use lipstick and a lip liner, and I'm gonna be using NYX Fuchsia lip liner and MAC's Candy Yum Yum lipstick, which is a really bright pink. But you can use anything, you can use face paint or whatever. So I'm just gonna line my lips and put lipstick on. Okay, so that's the lipstick. And for the lips, with this, I'm not going to do anything too much. Just because I kind of like the flower to be like the main part of this. So I'm just going to do some swirl lips. So I'm going to start from the corner of my mouth, or teeth, I should say. And go up like that. So that's how the line looks. And make sure this is nice and black when you get to do your swirl. Even if you're going to use liquid liner, that would probably be better. So go from the end. And do a swirl up. And then come down. And do a swirl down like that. And then you can do teeth. It doesn't matter how many you do. So that's how many I'm going to do, and I'm not going to go over the lipstick with this just because I don't want to. So that's what we have so far. And for my chin, I'm going to do some teardrops, and I'm using a pink base paint and a number 6 round. So they look like that, and there's really no right or wrong way to do teardrops. So then I'm going to take my black again and outline them, just the tops of them. So they look like that. Can't really tell, but they're just teardrops. And then I'm going to do a swirl right here. So that's what we got. Okay, so now we're just going to do the forehead. I'm going to do a spider web since it's the easiest. You can do it down, like the lines down and then the kind of gathered like this, or you can do it the opposite and just do like the straight line like that. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to do the straight line. And then you're just going to start caving them in. So they look like that. And that's pretty much all your face. Now you can, I'm going to add a bunch of dots and gems, but you can just skip this if you want. But that dots really, you would think that dots wouldn't really do anything for the look, but it does. Oh, and if you're wondering what brush this is the Sedona Lace 772, and this is my favorite dotting brush. Okay, I'm going to use sequins for this, and I just use dual lash glue, and I put a little thing on my hand, and then I take some tweezers, put the sequin in the glue, and just put it where I want. And I'm using green, just, I don't know why, just because there should be something green around a flower, right? Like leaves. And I'm going to put them down the side here where it's kind of empty, and put them from largest in the center, getting smaller on each end. Okay, so it looks like that. Then we are almost done. Now I'm going to take a matte gray. This has just been a blue gray and a pencil brush. And from each tooth, I'm just going to kind of sweep a little gray out from it. So if it's on the bottom, down, and if it's on the top, up. You can kind of round it so that it looks sort of like more tooth shaped, and then do that to all your teeth. Okay, so once you've done that, take your little brush that you used earlier and the black, and just a little bit, put a little bit of black going from each tooth stem thing, going in each direction like that, so it looks like this. Can you see it? You're just going like in a Y that's curled, just very slightly. And I'll add close-ups of this at the end. Okay, so that's what it looks like, our finished product. And you can line your face like this half with black, but for time's sake, because this video is already like a million years long, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, that's how it looks. And I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.